Sakura's... Sakura's... dead? She's... really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I can say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ooh, odor?
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means.
Interesting.
Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her. It's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault!
It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura.
What?
Whoa.
What?
You're accusing us before we even begun the investigation. I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it?
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level increased by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on!
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer.
It's the Monokuma
That's
file!
And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Say what?
Uh-huh. Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again,
In other
and
words,
then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable and without even getting a chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Cause for you someone like me, it would have been no feat to take down a behemoth like that.
hey,
I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated the rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her.
well done.
So I don't know who it was, but whoever blackened this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oopsies, before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one?
I won't forgive you.
I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I for one am glad it was Sakura. She was working with the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now our top priority is to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stay in guard this time. I'll do it. Hina. I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay then. Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand around and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll say fine. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's your fault!
One of you killed Sakura!
I won't forgive you.
I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura get anywhere near her. Even if that means I used to use force. You're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion will be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
No, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything else to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear now.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to do it. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim this time was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in a rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noticed. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey,
I think this case might be this time might be a challenge. Why's that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door has been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words,
In other words, it's the classic locked room murder. The locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. That simply means the killer commits his crime, then, through some special method, seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving locking of the room. Basic approach includes a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we have to do is check the door to see if that's what it is, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh.
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from the outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through the gap in the door or something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that will allow it. Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by
In
that?
other words,
They stay hidden and where the door was open, and they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend to show up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type, it wasn't actually a locked room after all. Not a
In
locked
other
room.
words,
By that I mean there's actually an alternate escape route within the room somewhere. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. And you think we could cross that one off too,
Indeed.
right? I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locker room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko. Which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
it's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during the trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. First things first, let's check out the door. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened of course when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door at all. Oh, did not mean to click that again. I meant to go over the glass right next to it. There's some kind of container there.
So,
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all sorts of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What
Hey.
is? You see what's scattered around the cam? Glass under it, too. And around it.
Correct.
In the window. Why does that matter?
So,
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well,
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? And after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we got into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
I mean,
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they lost all their flavor. Hina. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. They're all red. It must have been a bottle originally. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. If we look at the bottles here, 2 of them are missing. What I'm wondering is, how did they get those figures inside a bottle?
so,
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. Huh? You know what those bottles open is smaller than the boat pieces placed inside, right? Oh wait. Never mind. Oh yeah, maybe I
in
have.
other words,
So this is Monokuma version of it. Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on a shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shoulder glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Don't be so sure about that, huh? There's also blood around here. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from when she died? Is there anything interesting in magazines, or am I just thinking of it? Huh, there's not. Oh, I forgot about you. Huh, the locker's open, and there on the locker. A handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in all the
It's
dust.
true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little extra something. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why
Hey.
not? Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? All that's really left is Sakura's body. Sakura drew her last breaths, sitting slumped forward in a chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also vomited blood. And I can see traces of blood on her lips for sure. So what would it cost her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to vomit blood? I don't think that's how it works. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. It's a possibility. Let's go with Byakuya first.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. After all the time we hanged out, dude. Alright, Kyoko.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type that would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand on her? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly, they would have needed to do it if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to have been one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura had asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? Oh, I didn't mean to go that quick. After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them, and that this is what happened. If I stopped her by force, even this never would have happened. Hina, it's impossible to not have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet up with her, and she asked them to come to her rec room at noon, the same time and place Shina died in. It might have been good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Well, Byakuya.
What?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note for that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped it to shreds and threw it away. I hadn't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya said he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Was that pretty much it? Doesn't look like there's anything else. So, that's gonna be it. Next time, let's play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We're gonna talk to Hiro, Toko, hopefully find more about their encounter with Sakura, if they even did go to meet with her, alright? I'll see you guys then.